good rising. We don't do that grand stuff. This ain't the medieval days. The oscillating light. The fire comes and goes, the breath comes and goes, the spirit rises and falls. Every day, every moment of every day. There are rhythms we don't realize. Because we don't understand the value of them. So why value them? Why know them? Atomized in the mind, you know, the tap water thing, fluoride, pineal gland, all these other things. To normies, that's really sounds demented, crazy. They don't want to live in a world where they believe people are putting shit in water to devolve their capacity, to dampen their abilities to perceive beyond senses. The food. The poisons in the food. The medications in the food. Essentially, the reason for the medications are in the food. A lot of them. The world has become highly mental, very strained. The physical body is the brain. It's the glass, it's the filter, it's the machine which brings spirit to form. It's the bottleneck, the control mechanism of consciousness. Greedy people, first it starts with themselves, then it starts with things, then it starts with others, and it's possession of a spirit to help us change and grow. You don't grow if the bully never steps to you. What do? You just watch? And wait. And pretend you have righteous indignation because you're part of a group and you're waiting for your group to be called up to battle, so you're not going to step on any tyranny until that moment arises, and at that moment everyone's so segregated. It's just fish in a barrel type human resource management. For a long time, kings and queens, they use wars to justify, to thin the herds, to keep things controlled, mitigate risk. We don't really need wars in modern times. We're so connected, we're becoming one. So what is the mechanism to control people, resources, human resource management? Think about how we've become atomistic. We don't respect each other. We put shit, poison in the food, in the water, in the air, in the soil. We don't even understand the value. The clothes we wear is plastic. It's sprayed with all sorts of shit. Everything is poisonous in this world. The electromagnetic frequencies, all the other shit we don't know about. Yet here we are, and we persevere. It's justification for any ends, because we don't see the dire situation in our face. We avoid it by projecting the goodness that could be here now down the road. Somehow we see that as valuable, but we don't see the reason for that value as being valuable, which is us. So why the fuck keep coming up with different equations for one fucking answer, you know? How crazy, how insane have we become? It's madness. So I got fire, you know. I don't want to waste my fire on this world, this fucked up world. I don't even think it's worth tearing down. The world's gonna do that. Cycles will come. It's better to start on a new world. It starts within you. The separation is within you. If you don't dictate those terms, the world dictates them, and that's end game. The world's given us reason to put our fires onto the pyre. Everyone's trying to burn something for their cause, you know. They're giving their fire away. They're not holding it. They're not waiting because the storm's coming. They're not going to have any fire when it's ending. When it begins, when all this other shit ends. You have to protect what's valuable, nothing more. How do you know what is valuable? What doesn't paint you into a corner to sacrifice? What won't limit you in your future to sacrifice? I don't give a shit what Normieville thinks of me. I'm an evil white man. But it's like, you know, evil is not, it's in all man. We're not separate in that way. It's a collective unconscious, you know. So just because one parent group seems to be called to the tip of the spear for the age procession of these times to carry the fucking fire to the end, doesn't mean that they are evil. It means that they are chosen for that. Every fucking epoch has a chosen people for something. But you can't see that till you get into the self, see the cycles of the self, to understand this linear projection bullshit is a utopian dream to entrain you into form. The hand-me-downs of the Spartan caste. The master-slave dynamic of soldier civilian. You turn someone against themselves, and that's how you control them, essentially. And the world will do that. That's what trauma is. It's just part of the way we grow, but somehow system, society, maybe this is natural, hooked in to build upon those shortcomings, to tap into the fire, the strength of what humanity actually is, the spirit. So we're growing something, we're evolving something, changing something. The world is never for you, it's just for your creation, so it's up to you to bring that form. If you can't find a place to burn in this world, then that's the plight. It means you gotta carry the fire forward a little farther. That's what I'm finding. I've changed a lot in life. I've done things other people can't. But there are still things that I cannot do. I'm still learning how to. Everyone you meet in this world teaches you something. They have expertise at deep, deep levels. But there's no language, no form, no place in this world for that spirit to grow and flourish, so it is confined within, underneath the emotional residue of solitude, alienation, desperation. The hunger for the spirit to express authentically. Must sacrifice the hubris slowly. It's an internal process. The game is being put away. It's like being folded up into little squares. People are jumping into their squares and they're defending it, and then that square folds up, and then they have no one to blame but themselves, and then they scatter to these other squares that are similar, and then it keeps unfolding and collapsing. We're getting refined into this feudalism of spirit, the elements of form. Something's trying to take hold to create. That's life, I guess. So how do you do that within yourself so that you are the life raft, you are Noah's Ark when the floods of Normieville come sweeping through? You've seen what happens to people throughout history, how assimilated they become through trauma loop conviction. The only way to stand against that is to stand in your own light. If enough people did that, then it wouldn't have happened as it did in Germany. But too many people were beaten down by the shit show society that they thought was their fucking God. And then when Daddy said do this, they did it. Because they didn't see the value in themselves. They didn't understand that they are the change. And so they gave their power away and became the following. And so the cycle continued. And now here we are again. And how many sheep we got now? Let's see who stands in this. Now to stand for conviction that isn't your own, that's the same thing as not standing at all. Are you going to martyr yourself for some Normieville icon? The narration of the stories of the trauma loops past? Empower what that is? Or do you seek to find the myth within yourself, to grow it, to heal it, express that? Alright, moon, Anarietic degree right now of Leo here. Coming into the opposition with Saturn. The moon, the messenger of the emotional depths. It's echoes the past. The void reaching through. Always. And we got Mars, Mercury conjunct here. This is a very powerful chart. square here still with Sun, Jupiter. In last video I said septile. I couldn't think for some reason. Sextile between Pluto and Pallas Athena. And that trine here, Venus and Jupiter, this is very good. But you know, every day comes and goes. If you got a headache and it's a beautiful day, well, you can't enjoy it. So go through whatever process you're in and let that be your guide. Alright, well, thanks for watching, listening, and being.